Oh, we decided to do it today. It's a grand opening at the lounge. Those of you guys that are members, afterwards, we're going to go have some cigars, have some conversations. Probably the best part of the night is when there's no cameras, especially in the lounge. You cannot have a phone on, but it's where the conversations get deeper. But I'm excited about that. However, we haven't done a live. Rob, when's the last time we did a live, Rob? Has it been a few months, Rob? I think it's been 4 or 5 months since we did a live.
Yes, the election.
It was the election.
Oh, wow, it was election night. We
Was
haven't
it?
been in here since.
No, we have. Election night, we were not here. We were at 59 night. We were at 1200.
The debates.
Here.
When we did the debate watch
Let me
party.
tell you how I know we haven't done one in a while, because we had to put the sprinklers here. We had to readjust the coding for this to become a cigar lounge, bar, liquor license. That took us, we haven't done this for 6 months. So it's great to be back. It's great to be here with you guys. All right. Stories. We got a lot of stories. Let's go through them. Did you guys hear about Trump's tax hike, what the new tax proposal is? Who's following that story a little closely? Yes? The first 3 rows are a little bit concerned about it, folks. These are the rich people that are worried about the types of taxes they're going to pay. We're going to talk about that. Trump said he's sick and tired of Fed Chair Powell. Termination cannot
после
come
первого раза я думал
fast
промолчать,
enough. I don't know
но
if
после
that's a
третьего я
threat
уже не мог
or he's
устоять.
upset, but we'll talk about that as well. California sues to block Trump's illegal tariffs. There is a name in there. It's a guy named Gavin Newsom who sues, who happens to be one of Roger Stone's favorite people, by the way. I know Roger's a big fan of Gavin Newsom, very good friends. Then we have Xi fights Trump's tariffs with global charm offensive. We got to talk about that. China lashes out, says peasants in the United States, they called us peasants, literally. One of their representatives said peasants in the United States. What a thing to call if you want to negotiate. Let me read it to you one more time. Tell me how you feel. Make some noise if it makes you feel uplifting, if you want to continue negotiations, or you want to be tough with them. Let me read it to you, then react accordingly. Ready? China lashes out, says peasants in the United States.
Yeah.
All right, a couple guys are not happy. Will suffer from trade war. Then Harvard, Trump's going after Harvard now. Says Trump's administration asking IRS to revoke Harvard's tax exempt status. Is Harvard's $53 billion endowment big enough to offset federal funding cuts? We'll talk about that. Letitia James has an interesting week. We'll say what she's going through. Possible prosecution over allegations for mortgage fraud. LA spends, watch this number here, a little bit weird. LA spends less on firefighters than homeless, who start a third of fires. A third of fires in LA start by homeless people, yet they don't want to give the firefighters and take care of them. Kind of weird. Mother of murdered Maryland women, Rachel Morin, joins White House briefing. If you've not seen this, very tough to watch. If you're in Florida, you know what happened here at Florida State. We're going to talk about that as well with the shooting. Very unfortunate, disturbing. If you watch the video, the story keeps getting deeper and deeper. 2 are unfortunately confirmed, I believe, dead, and 6 are hospitalized right now as we're speaking. Originally, they just said 6 are hospitalized, but 2 of them have been killed, and we'll discuss that story. And then next one here is the Florida story that was shared with me on Connect. It's a story that I think it's important for us Floridians to talk about, but I think this also applies to some other states. Governor Ron DeSantis, you got to love this about the guy. Governor Ron DeSantis says these highway patrol folks in the state of Florida are not getting paid, but we should give them a 25% raise, 20 to 25% raise. Congress says no. In the state of Florida, they're going back and forth. There's a stat you have to know about where Florida ranks in what they pay for their highway patrol. I don't know if you know the ranking or not. It's embarrassing what it is. And maybe we can make some noise and get some people's attention with that. How many of you guys use Zoom? Anybody use a Zoom? Did anybody have any issues with Zoom yesterday? 70,000 people reported an outage. We went through it ourselves. And then we have DHS deported MS-13 member Kilmar Abrego Garcia, arrested with rolls of cash and drugs. And apparently we learned about his nickname. What MS-13 calls him. There's a nickname for it, right? Yeah. Is it Chile? Chile is his nickname. Yeah. MS-13 nickname is Chile, and apparently he's like he's a manager. He's a fun couple promotions.
He's a family man.
He's a family man.
Maryland. He's a Maryland man.
Yeah. Sure. All right, Vinny. You're about to, it's going to be bad, but you can't mess around with stuff like that. All right, so Elon Musk, apparently, there's a story of the president saying, what the F is Elon doing here? Trump personally blocked Musk's Pentagon briefing on China. Is there truth in this? Who knows? The tactics Elon Musk used to manage his legion of babies and their mothers Are you guys? This was Adam's top story. Adam wants to talk about this. And look, when Adam says he wants to talk about the story when it's 30 minutes late, he says he'll give you one story. This is the one he got. Did you guys catch that one?
Below the radar?
This is what it is. Okay.
Take it.
Biden gave an incredible motivational speech this week. I mean, Tony Robbins was upset because he outshined him, but it was just so impressive when you see stuff like talent. By the way, that's a once-in-a-lifetime type of talent when somebody can motivate as well as Joe Biden does. Do you remember when he would do his, when he was on the road and he was campaigning, hundreds of thousands of people would show up to listen to Biden speak. I mean, that's unbelievable.
Changed my life.
Just incredible. You know what I love? Gullible people that think I'm serious right now.
There's somebody out there.
Showed up. How many guys saw the Blue Origin flight? Be honest. Did that not make you think you can do the impossible? So, you know what? I think I can do something big with my life one day.
Yeah.
Right? Vinny, I saw you were inspired.
Yeah.
So Gil King is extremely disappointed with many of us by the backlash of Blue Origin's flight, accuses critics of sexism. How dare you not believe they went through this devastating 11-minute flight? Give them some credit, Vinny.
I mean, who cares that men built the damn thing? They were on it.
I love that your post's title says Astro Not. Canada's first election debate opens with sparring over Trump, and Canada's Gen Z voters turn to conservative Poilievre in race against Carney. I don't know what Tucker said about Poilievre, but we'll definitely play that clip. And then some bad news for people in Hamas. A depleted Hamas is so low on cash right now that it can't pay its fighters. It's a pretty rough situation they're in there. I don't know who writes this. Let me read the story to you one more time. Wall Street Journal. A depleted Hamas is so low on cash that they can't pay its fighters. What the hell does that mean? We'll talk about it. And then we got a couple other stories here that will go through. Having said that, for those of you that are watching, Menek, if you haven't yet joined Menek Circle, everything we talk about here on the back end, behind the scenes, the notes, what we're talking about right now, the notes that I have is in Menek Circle, unlimited messaging, unlimited videos. Behind the scenes right now when we're back there, we posted a video of what was going on. You kind of have to see it to be a part of it. If you're not yet part of PBD Podcast, Menek Circle, download the app, join it. Throughout the day, everybody's talking with each other. And it's a bunch of PBD podcasters. They're talking to each other. Go download the app. A lot of exciting news is coming up with Menek here soon. But if you watch the PBD Podcast, download the app and join the PBD Podcast Circle. Okay, what story do we want to start off with? If we were to pick a story, which one do we want to go with? Since we got business people here, we'll talk taxes. Is that okay with you? Let's talk some taxes. Okay, so millionaire tax hike gains steam as Trump signals opening. What does this really mean? Let's go through it. Republicans led by President Trump are exploring a new 40% tax bracket for individuals earning $1 million or more annually. With a White House official stating Trump is open to the idea but prefers a threshold far greater than $1 million, Deputy Treasury Secretary Michael Falconer said, "We are investigating and having discussions with Congress about a variety of potential offsets," while Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent noted, "Everything's on the table to manage the taxable costs. The proposed millionaire tax rate aims to offset the cost of expanding the state and local tax deductions and potentially raising the cap from $10,000 to $25,000, benefiting high earners in states like New York and Jersey." Bessent reported very good progress on tax talks, predicting performance for the 2017 tax cuts and jobs by 4th of July. Tom, what are your thoughts on this story?
Well, I think, like we've been talking about tariffs, and I said, I believe tariffs were tactics, not long-term taxes. Well, it doesn't say Donald has an idea.
Out of charges.
It says that Donald Trump, 47, says, I'm open to discussions. I'm open to the idea. Because what he's got to do, they got to pay for something. The SALT deduction, it's where people that are in California and New York get to deduct their state taxes of their federal. And people have often said, well, you choose to live in New York and California, you got to pay that because you get a discount on that. People in Florida, that's not fair. And so what they're talking about doing, okay, everybody's upset. We're going to raise it from 10,000, which they lowered it to. So you could deduct up to 25,000 of your California.
Who does that benefit?
That works.
Yeah, to benefits New York and California. But now then the Trump people will say, well, Mr. President, if you give that back, we need tax coming in because we're trying to balance the federal budget ultimately. And so they're saying, well, what if we do a 40% bracket way up? It's already right now,
You want to
37,
play?
39,
Let's
39 and a half.
play.
Let's move it to 40% so that we can get some back. So they're trying to balance it. I think this is a head fake, and I think he's trying to get Congress to come to the table and talk by saying, well, I'm open to talk about taxes coming up. That's like saying free beer in a fraternity house to the Democrats, right? They're all going to run into that meeting and say, oh, my goodness, he's willing to do this. And I think he's trying to open it up with Scott Bessent, Secretary Bessent, to start the dialogue and start the conversation.
Adam.
So Trump wants to raise taxes on the rich?
Proposing
Is that what I'm
the
hearing?
top line being 40%.
Like if you told me that AOC was proposing this, I'd be like, yeah, obviously tax the rich, tax the bitch. But now Trump is proposing taxing the rich even more. Remember the argument we had, a conversation we had with Sam Cedar? He wants to tax 90%. That's not the way this works, Sam Cedar. So just backing up a second. Obviously, everybody knows I'm the biggest MAGA person here. Like, it's without a doubt. Like, I'm the biggest Trump guy here. We all know that, excuse me. Is anybody richer? Is anybody richer since Trump took office? I'm not. I'm heavily invested in the market. I'm heavily invested in crypto. Maybe Tomo, because he's selling who knows what. But I think the optics of Trump taxing millionaires and even billionaires is not a good look for him. Who's lost the most money in the last literally 30 days? I would say the biggest, wealthiest people in America. Like, the billionaires are not happy about this. I wonder what type of conversation Elon, the richest man in the world, doing the whole Doge thing, impregnating half the country. I'm wondering what he's doing behind closed doors when he literally lost $50 billion in the last month. So, Trump.
What are you saying? Like, you went on this rant?
What's my point?
Are you going to make a point to us? Like,
listen, Pat,
let us know.
It
Are you just
be
this
the PPD
therapy for you?
It wouldn't be the PPD podcast if I had a point. However, it's great to see all these beautiful people.
That was pretty good,
actually.
actually.
It's true. I don't know why he would want to raise taxes.
So, but did you hear what Tom said?
Yeah, but I kind of fell asleep.
But let me tell you what Tom said.
I love you, Tom. I'm kidding.
Knock it off, you little...
My goal is to get Tom fired up.
Here's what Tom said. Tom said, how many guys think it's a head fake? How many think he's doing this to get the other side to come and talk to him? How many guys think he would actually entertain taking the top to 40% plus? Who thinks he would do it? Okay, so a couple things that we have to be thinking about that's very different. Remember the quote that says what? I would like it to be a lot higher. He says threshold far greater than $1 million. Okay, what if it's 2 million? What if it's 4 million? So let's just say he makes it 2 million. You're making 10 million. On that 8 million you make between 2 and 8, you pay 40%. 3.2 million goes to the government. You keep 4.8 on that additional 8 million. Should the government take 40% of that additional 8 million? I don't know about that. Do I trust the government to do more with that money than us? I don't know. Now, he's doing this for a couple different things. How many guys here run a business? Who runs a business here? Raise your hand if you run a business. What's corporate tax rates right now? What are we paying right now? What's that? 0 for you?
I want your account.
What business? Yeah, who's your accountant?
That's a very small business you run.
Right.
No, it's called you run a small business, but watch this here. So right now they want to lower the corporate tax rate from 21 points to 15 points, which allows you to have that additional 6% to do what? If you do 50 million a year, say you have $20 million on profit, that's 6% additional. I can hire a bunch of other people. That's a good thing that they're doing. And they're doing this in a way to use some of that as tax incentive, because the one big promise that he made was what? No taxes on what? Who remembers that big campaign? No taxes on tips. How many guys think he needs to keep that promise? Who thinks he needs to keep that promise? Who thinks he will keep that promise? I think he will keep that promise. I think, Tom, a part of me thinks, you're in the right where he's trying to get the other side to come and want to meet with them. But what ends up happening there, I don't know. I do know if they do touch increasing tax rates on business owners, they're not going to have a lot of happy people there if that were to take place. Vinny, were you going to say something?
No. I'll say something after Tom.
Yeah, because...
I'm curious. I get the tactic with tariffs, and we talked Who do we talk
Last
to? Eric
player
Bowling about
standing.
how he didn't trust Lutnick, and who's the other guy's Michael Faulkner? Like who's in his ear? Like, is this all Trump by himself, or is these the people that are next to him, the Lutnick and the Faulkner, saying these are the tactics that you should do, or is this all Trump's?
I am convinced this is Trump's model.
Okay.
Trump sits in a room and he says something like
30
this.
seconds left.
He says, guys, let's just say we're running the real estate office and we're in New York. They'll say, I'm thinking about moving half of you guys to Miami to take over the Miami market. And he lets, what's that? Speaking going on. He lets,
я
says,
как
hey,
человек,
I'm
который
going to test
когда-то
you guys
тоже
to go
играл
to the
на
Miami
Кае,
market.
выебываться не буду, я так же
And then he
делаю.
sits in the office and watches everybody react in a way. And they say, dude, I'm not going to Miami market. By the afternoon, 6 hours later, 3 people come in, the ones that have guts, and they say, I think that's a terrible idea. We're about to lose half the
Я
company.
человек с силой.
Okay, then we're not doing it.
Got you.
Or guess what? Hey, you know what? Shit, as crazy an idea was, 5 people already booking their flight. Wait. I wasn't serious.
Yeah.
So I think he is kind of doing this and watches the market, what they say on X, what they say with different stories, and then he'll come back and say, great story or not a great story, or some of the people that he wants to call him to start negotiating. I don't know if that strategy is working with China right now, but I think it may work with this when it comes down to taxes. What did Reagan say? To Democrats, every day is April 15th. To Republicans, every day is what? 4th of July, right? One is freedom, one is taxes. So this may kind of get the Democrats to want to come and talk to them.
And this has to be done by the 4th of July. Otherwise, the original Trump tax cuts expire.
That's right. So let me give you some love letter here
Last
from
player
China, Tom, and I want to
standing.
get your reaction on this one here. China lashes out, says peasants in the United States will suffer
enemy
from
remaining.
the trade war. Rob, I think you got a clip on this. If you want to prepare this here, is this the one? Go ahead, Rob. Play this clip.
Did you see their faces?
美国一而再、再而三对香港进行遏制打压，换来的只能是其在香港的代理人的加速灭亡，最终必将反噬其自身，让美国那些乡巴佬们在中华民族5000年文明面前去哀鸣吧。
Я
не тому купил, нечаянно
I'm not eating
купил.
Chinese food for 6 months. That's my boy. He called me a peasant. I'm not gonna suck a chopstick.
Can you play the last 5 seconds one more time? Just play the last
Those
5
are fighting
seconds
words,
if you
man.
can. Watch this. Go ahead.
美国那些乡巴佬们在中华民族5000年文明面前去哀鸣吧。
Ой, какой я
That's what
молодец.
I'm, bro. That's fighting words.
Let me read this to you. Okay, so here we go.
Face your fear!
Jia Baolong, great name, director of Chinese Hong Kong
Last
and
player
Macau
standing.
Affairs Office,
Spike
criticized
down,
U.S.
B.
terrorists as extremely shameless, stating, let those peasants in the United States wail in front of 5,000 years of Chinese civilization, which is what we just watched, in response to J.D. Vance's claim that the U.S. borrows from Chinese peasants to buy their goods. Jia addressed the National Security Education Day, called the U.S. the biggest sinister manipulator, undermining human rights, freedom, the rule of law, prosperity and stability in Hong Kong, and a bully. He warned, the U.S. isn't after our terrorists, but our very survival. The Chinese people do not cause trouble, nor are they afraid of trouble. Pressure, threats, and blackmail are not the right way to deal with China. Alleging U.S. suppression of Hong Kong will eventually backfire on itself. Chinese Foreign Minister spokesperson Lin Jian previously criticized Vance, saying, to hear words that lack knowledge and respect like those uttered by Vice President is both surprising and kind of lamentable. Tom, your thoughts on this?
Well, first of all, here's what China is doing. Our VP spoke, so Xi is never going to talk to our VP. Xi sends this guy out. Xi Baolong, director of China's Hong Kong and Macau Affairs Office. What? It's like the director of China's Hong Kong and Macau Affairs Office. Hardly the vice president of
Last
China.
round
So
in
they're
the
sending
half.
out a lower level guy to go make a comment because China is very symbolic. They're very symbolic with what they say. And so they're like, okay, your number 2 guy wants to talk a little trash, then we're going to talk a little trash. Behind the scenes, they have currency problems. Behind the scenes, they're still tearing down apartment buildings that they overbuilt. Behind the scenes, they are still about to have to deal with changing the demand from their largest customer in the known galaxy, us. And so it doesn't mean that this is easy, and it doesn't mean that they're not a force to be reckoned with. But this guy, he's just out talking trash because J.D. Vance said peasants, so this guy's going to say peasants.
But let me tell you what's going on here, which is the one part that we have to be careful with, because they know what they have that we're having a hard time with. Remember when we were talking yesterday, the fact that Trump wanted Greenland? Why? Because the beach is beautiful? Because we're all going to be going tanning there?
No.
Or because they have minerals? Trump wanted who else? Ukraine to come to the table, and Putin kind of hurt because Putin's not working that quickly on the negotiation. And why did he want a negotiation deal with Ukraine? Because they offer what? Minerals that we need. Two of them were the ones to get the minerals, right? So watch this here. Trump's tariffs put to test as China chokes off critical mineral supplies. Chokes off. So we need it. Nope, you're not going to get it. Rob, is that the clip? Okay, play this clip, Rob. This is very interesting to see what's going on, because the longer it takes, guys, can you if you're going to talk, guys, over there on the left, if you can, you guys can go to the cigar lounge. We can hear you. If China uses this as a leverage, Putin, Russia, Ukraine, Greenland doesn't happen, a lot of business owners are going to be calling Trump saying, hey, what are we going to do about this? Rob, go on and play the clip.
In Vietnam, they brought the pomp and circumstance to welcome Xi Jinping. And two communist leaders walked the red carpet so Beijing could portray itself as a benevolent source of regional stability.
China will insist on joining hands rather than throwing punches, tearing down walls instead of building barriers, connecting instead of decoupling.
François a trouvé la femme parfaite, mais il n'a pas encore trouvé la paire de lunettes. Bien voir ne devrait pas être aussi compliqué. Chez Général d'Optique, tout simplement à votre santé visuelle. Prenez rendez-vous pour un examen de la vue dans l'un de nos 700 magasins partout en France. Général d'Optique, c'est si simple de bien voir. Dispositif médical CE.
Tu vois bien ça, ma chérie? Ah oui. Attends,
je
viens de gagner un voyage au Japon.
Ah bon?
Enfin voir les cerisiers en fleurs.
Oh là là.
Et vous, comment réagiriez-vous? Gagnez des vols gratuits avec Kayak. Participez jusqu'au 19 mai. Rendez-vous sur kayak.fr/gagner vol gratuit.
Xi's Southeast Asia tour was pre-planned, but he's using it to confront the U.S. for what Beijing calls an irresponsible trade war and recent sanctions on Hong Kong, China's top official there said today.
The repeated attempts of the U.S. to contain...
Well, let me read this to you. China halted exports of rare minerals critical for weapons, electric vehicles, and electronics in retaliation to Trump's 145% tariff. So let me give you an idea what we're going through. We have SLS next week at Mar-a-Lago. We have an event that's coming up next week at Mar-a-Lago. We purchased $1 million worth of merch that's coming in, and we have it coming in from all over the place, but one of the shipments coming from there. It's at the port. It's waiting there saying, hey, if you want it, you're going to have to pay another $250,000 in tariffs. Not me. This is the fee. So a lot of people are currently experiencing this small little pain. How many guys are experiencing it yourself in your business? Can you raise your hand if you've had anything happening with tariffs in the last 2 weeks? Raise your hand if you can. Okay, fantastic. Watch this. It says in rare minerals for weapons, electric vehicles, electronics in retaliation to Trump's 145% tariffs impacting U.S. manufacturing and defense supply chains. National Economic Council Director Kevin Hesed said rare earths are part of lots of the economy. The rare earth limits are being studied very carefully, and they're concerning. And we're thinking about all the options right now. China producing 60% and processing 90% of global critical minerals imposed export controls on 7 rare earth minerals, stopping the magnet shipments on April 4th. The ban spares finished products, potentially undermining Trump's tariffs while U.S. industries face production delays. Josh Ballard, CEO of U.S. Rare Earth, predicted, I'm betting it affects a lot of the auto manufacturers fairly quickly. Anybody who's doing their assembly manufacturing here, there will be a knockdown effect. Tom, thoughts on this?
Remember, I think we all remember, what did Zelensky and Trump supposedly come to a verbal agreement before the famous fight in the Oval Office? It was a ceasefire and minerals deal with Ukraine. And then they came in there and, Zelensky made a couple snide comments back with the media, and then he and Vance went at it. Remember that? So Trump So this is one of the things where you have to remember, our president is showing leadership here. He was trying to get out in front of this. He knew China's going to play this card. And he's trying to get out in front of it and saying, hey, we're giving all this money to Ukraine. They've got rare earth minerals. It's like they say, PayPal now accepts Bitcoin. United States now accepts rare earth minerals. Pay us in that, right? Pay us back in that. And then Greenland, he's talking about, look, you're not thrilled with the Dutch, perfectly thrilled with the Dutch. And China's been trying to get, mineral drilling rights in Greenland. And by the way, Greenland only has 54,000 people, which is basically a sold out, baseball game at larger stadiums. That's it. And so Trump has been trying to get out in front of these things because he knows the chess game he's going to play. And I think people need to, it's in a pinch right now and he's still got to negotiate it. But this is playing out in front of our very eyes.
Let me ask you,
finding out that he was right, he was in
hurt
wrong.
Does this hurt Elon?
Does this? I think so.
Okay. So how long can he go with this pain?
One enemy remaining.
Because to me, we don't know the answer. It's not like you're talking to the guy every day. Can you text him, find out how long he can go? What I'm saying is purely speculate. How long can he go? Can he go a month? Can he go 2 months? Can he go 3 months? Can he go 6 months? There is a time. How long can he go? Because he's also got great relationship with China. Elon does a lot of business with those guys on the other side. So if this is affecting, so he's kind of in the middle where I got my business dealings I'm doing and we need these minerals. Where do we go get them from? Ukraine's not moving fast enough. They flipped. There are so many moving parts. The toughest thing about negotiation is when you're in the middle of a deal and like we were going through this. At the tail end of selling our business,
It seems these
there was
strangers want
a
me
handful
dead.
of things moving at the same time. And it was not fun. And at any point, the deal was about to fall through. At any point. I'll never, any point for the last, would you say 8 weeks?
Yes.
The level of anxiety and angst. When, by the way, when the money hit the account and we closed, we were in a room, and when the announcement was made, you remember Moral's reaction?
Yeah.
You remember your reaction?
Yeah.
You remember the entire room, what it was like? It was as if weight was lifted. Now, that's a small little business compared to a government as big as we are. They have 20 things going on right now that one doesn't work out affects this one. Panama Canal, China, CK, Hutchinson, mineral, fuels. We need these chips. NVIDIA prices are going up. So he's kind of in the middle trying to negotiate all this stuff.
Strike down mid.
Les nouveaux Ultimate Flame Barbecue arrivent chez Burger King. Va falloir éliminer avant de les goûter.
I don't know. I don't know how this is going to end up. I do know if you voted for this and we're pushing it and we're challenging them, do I think China is going to be willing to, go through more pain than us? Do I think China can be a bigger asshole and care about their people? Like, who do you think cares more about voters, Americans or Chinese?
Not even close.
Do they even vote?
What politician cares more about voters?
Do they vote in China? They don't.
That's the joke. The joke part is what?
Yeah.
Chinese people look at their voters as what? Listen, you have nothing to say. Relax.
Yeah.
This is China. You're going to do whatever we tell you to do. In U.S., you got midterms around the corner. So there's a lot of stuff that's going on here. Adam, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm actually in favor of what Trump is doing with China. I like the concept. I like the idea. I like the mission. I don't like the game plan. He could have gone about this so much clearer and better and prepared everybody. So I'll make an analogy. Born and raised in Miami, you've experienced hurricane season now for a few years. A hurricane just doesn't pop up in Miami. You're like, it's hurricane season, brace for impact. It's going to happen in the next 6 months. And then when a hurricane happens, you have like a week or two to prepare off the coast of Africa. You're like, all right, cool. We got this. Get the shutters, get the wife, get the kids, get everything out of there. Trump showed up like a freaking tornado. Boom, tariffs. Everyone's like, what is going on here? And business owners had no time to react. 30 days. So markets can move pretty quickly to respond. But businesses are going to take 60, 90, 120 days to even realize what the hell is going on here. So in my opinion, I voted for Trump. I support him taking on what he's doing with China. The concept is a little reckless in my opinion. It's almost like, if I could give one more analogy, we had frickin' the Democrats drunk at the wheel, DUI, drunk on power and big spending. They're making our boys, girls, they're chopping things off. Everyone's gay, everyone's going big spending. We're like, dude, we need a frickin' safe driver. You know, what's it called when you,
What? DD, designated driver.
Designated driver, clearly I need one with my Ubers. Designated driver, Trump's like, listen, I got this. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't even have tattoos. He shows up, he puts on the Dale Earnhardt hat, he's flicking off everybody, he's just speeding down the race, reckless driving. You're like, bro, you were just supposed to be chill. You're just going a little too fast right now. Pump the brakes.
I say no. I say he puts it in fifth gear. He keeps doing exactly what the hell he's doing. This is what we voted for. He's the only. He's the.
Thank you.
He's 3 months
you.
in, and everybody's acting on the left like it's the end of the world. Remember, World War III, North Korea, Russia. It's all BS. I've said this. Everybody needs to calm the hell down. Let's not forget who China is, guys. They are our enemy. I hate hearing the word adversary. That's the same watered down for the enemy. The amount of crap that they do to us as a nation. And let's not forget, COVID, we still to this day, even the CIA, Radcliffe has to say, it's most likely it came from that's how powerful these people are, that we still can't say the word. It came from China, it came from Wuhan, and a lab that we started with freaking Fauci, who got a preemptive pardon. I think that stay the course, they're our enemy, and you mentioned the chess game. Who's gonna break first? Who's gonna get the checkmate? I think he has to say, yes, we're gonna suffer, but at the end of the day, they are our enemy. You hear that freaking Powell, I don't know what the hell his name was, talking shit and calling us peasants. Regardless of the situation, that's what they think of us. It's gonna be a fight, and me as an American, I don't have a company where I'm losing that money and all that stuff, but what other tactic has worked throughout the years? Nothing. And they're gonna win. Their GDP is gonna pass us in 10 years.
Let me tell you, no, I don't think anybody is disagreeing with that idea. Everybody wants to see this happen. But there's also an element of, are these executives, his executives that he's known for 10 years? Is his executive team people that he's worked with for 10 years?
No. These are
How long has he had?
In office?
Months? Weeks? Not even years?
Yeah. So guess what happens when you have that? So if you run with a group of people that you've been running for 10 years, guess what you know? No one's talking to each other. It's just signals.
Yeah.
You got it? Boom. Good.
Yeah.
So part of it is also here where, you know, I don't know. I trust what the vision is, but on the back end, who's dropping the ball on the Ukraine negotiation deal? Who's dropping the ball on the Panama stuff? Who's dropping? This is a very good plan if it's executed, but the leadership team's only been working together for 2 or 3 months. You can say all you want. You put a brand spanking new company together with 10 C-suite executives from 10 different companies, guys, make it work. It takes a minute. So I'm a little bit watching to see who I can rely on, because this is what I'm thinking if I'm the president. I'm sitting, I'm sizing everybody up. I'm like, okay, is that guy really going to get the job done that I need to get done right now, or is he trying to run for office for 2028? Is that guy really going to do whatever we need right now to get the job done, or is he trying to fight for another job? Is that guy really doing this? Or that's what I'm thinking. Why?
Hey, Mike. Sorry to do this, but we're going to have to let you go.
Yes! Конечно, прикольно решили, ребят, нам.
In we go. Wait. Am I fired?
Yeah.
Спасите. Спасите! Бэба, по-моему. А, нет. Господи, ребята, Клава там сидит в мышке.
I haven't worked with you for a long time.
Oi.
I don't need to ask that about Tom. Tom and I have been in business together for we've known each other for almost 20 years. We've been in business together for a while. But I don't know this camp. So I don't know if this camp is executing this chaotic plan accordingly at the level of urgency you need. I don't know.
You make a good point because it's technically he's in again. This is a startup. If you think about it, everybody's brand new.
Executive team. It's a very new executive team, and you don't know everyone's motives. You don't. You don't get to know everyone's motives. This is a very heavy-duty negotiation going on all at the same time. Some of it needs to close. Like when you have 20 pending deals that are open, you come to your executives and you're like, hey, you had 4 of them. When are you closing this thing? You said this is going to get done. Why is this taking 3 weeks longer? Your deadline was March 1st. What the hell are we doing? Let's go. Hey, you have 4 projects. All 4 have been completed. Guys, why is this guy getting everything done? You're not done yet.
Teleport's ready.
You slowing your things down is hurting the other big things that we're working on. I can't go do this if you haven't finished up this project. What the hell are we waiting for? Do we need to find somebody else to do this over you? I think that's maybe what's going on, because if it's not matching the publicly, you have to show what? That you're united. And then think about it. A lot of the guys that you have on your team are also business owners. So guess what business owners are looking at? Some of the policies that we're coming up with is doing what?
Hurting them.
It's hurting the business. So they're kind of like, are they policies first or their business first? Are they America first? Are they their business, their own net worth? What? This is very, very, this is very complex. We can sit here and talk about a podcast and a YouTube and, hey, let me tell you, they're running the biggest corporation in the world with 10 brand new executives who have never worked together. Go ahead. Run this biggest corporation. It's challenges. I don't know what's going to be happening. But a part of me is kind of anticipating some deals closing up. Close the loop on a couple of these deals. I'm pretty optimistic the BlackRock deal is going to get done with Panama Canal. Stop saying that. Close the damn deal. I'm pretty deal the Ukraine-Putin thing's going to get done. Freaking fly over to Russia already. Let's get some of this stuff done. That's my concern. Adam, you have one thing to say?
I fully agree. As someone that runs a business and understands sales, you have 20 deals in the pipeline. Oh, yeah, that deal folded. That didn't come through. Oh, man, what happened with that client? Boom, boom, boom. Next thing you know, 20 deals, you have 10 deals. 10 didn't close. You're like, we better close these right here. What's going on with Iran, with the nuclear missile deal? I'm going to end the war in Russia before I even get... It's still going on. Putin's still... bombing Ukrainians, Gaza, we're going to get all the hostages back. Nah, they didn't really do that. Inflation, where are we at with that? So, like, I fully understand where Vinny's at. This is what we voted for. I want this. I love that about Vinny. But also we need to have, like, a measured sort of sense of understanding. Like, we can't just be in the back seat with the reckless driver and be like, this is the driver, bro. It's like, well, tell him to fucking pull over. And, like, let's buckle up some seatbelts for a second, guys. So I love Vinny. I love, like, that's what America is. Like John Wayne over here, like a cowboy, but like, you know, that horse ain't running.
My question is 3 months to panic right now?
You asked a very good question. Who has more time? Clearly China. Trump, we have got 16 months until the next midterm. What's the thing they said in Afghanistan when we were there for 20 years? It's like, you guys have all the watches, we have all the time. China don't give a shit. They'll starve their people. They'll put people in camps.
They are starving their people.
Yeah, you know, so we unfortunately have what's called empathy and care and approval ratings, and Trump's going to have to answer to somebody.
30
and my
seconds
biggest
left.
fear, if this doesn't work, you're going to start to see his team of rivals be like, I told Trump not to do this, you're fired. It could get ugly if he doesn't start getting rid of.
Yeah, that's why I think we need to know
One
who's not
enemy
doing the
remaining.
work. Like if one of the 10 executives or 2 of them are kind of not moving urgently, that story needs to leak to the public. Like we need to know what's going on, because if you don't, everybody's going to be blaming him. What's going on right now? Who's not executing some of these deals? Again, I don't know the full details of what's going on here. I just think some of them need to close the loop where you have more leverage to negotiate. And a lot of these things are tied to one another. Anyways, we'll see. Okay, so this leads to Trump wanting some good news. And what's the good news he wants? Donald Trump says Fed Chair Jay Powell's termination can't come fast enough. Rob, if you got the clip, play the clip about Jay Powell. And he's been wanting this for a while. This is President Trump. Go for it.
Under Jerome Powell, you said that the termination of Jerome Powell cannot come fast enough. He says he won't leave, even if you ask him to.
Oh, he'll leave. If I ask him to, he'll be out of there. But I don't think he's doing the job. He's too late, always too late, a little slow, and I'm not happy with him. I let him know it, and If I want him out, he'll be out of there real fast, believe me.
Enemy remaining. Spike down mid.
As much as I love this guy that I supported. If you want him out of there, how many presidents have wanted the Fed chair out?
Overtime.
All of them at one moment have been like, what do I do with this guy? You know, I can't executive order the guy? No, you can't. And so,
Does anyone have fun?
And then Jay Powell calmly says, well, our independence is a matter of law. And I'm not going anywhere. And that's it. And that's the truth about it. And so what Trump wants him to do is to cut interest rates. But inflation has not popped back up. It's like 0.1%. It hasn't gone crazy. Unemployment hasn't gone crazy. We haven't had 100,000 people laid off from GM. So Jay Powell says, look, I move interest rates to help businesses when macro things, when numbers move, not moods. And you've got an angry stock market because it doesn't like sentiment. It doesn't like what it thinks it's feeling from tariffs, but we don't have numbers yet. And so I'm not going to move. And I'm sitting here and I see maybe 1 rate cut, 2 rate cuts this year. That's all I see. And Trump desperately wants Jay Powell to cut interest rates at the upcoming May. He wants a 1/4 point cut at the upcoming May. Why? Because it loosens up credit for companies to invest and to do things. That's what every president wants, is lower interest rates for housing stimulation and for loans for businesses. And Powell is like, he's not a cantankerous guy. He's a hard guy to hate, you know, right? He's like your kind grandfather, Jay Powell, right? You can't hate the guy. He doesn't come out and say things that are bombastic. But what Trump's saying here, Trump can say, I want that guy out and I want to fire him tomorrow. It's not going to happen. The Fed guy has a term. And there's nothing horrible that's happened. Like you didn't screw something up to where you get people in the Federal Reserve to go, Jay, it's been a tough summer and those were bad decisions. And you kind of wrecked the bond market. You did all these things. You're gone. That's not happening. And so, unfortunately, I want a 1/4 point cut. I think in the face of everything with tariffs, 1/4 point cut would help everything. But Powell's not going to move until he's got unemployment and inflation chasing.
I think you will get Jerome Powell in May of 2026, because that's when Powell's term ends, and that'll be 10 years. So he's been beefing, Trump has been beefing with Jerome Powell since the day he appointed him. Like, Trump's the guy that brought him in. He's like, why is this guy here? It's like, you gave him the job, President Trump. How long has he been talking trash about Powell? And Jerome Powell is almost like the flip side of the coin for Trump. He's very measured, he's very soft-spoken, very chill. Does anybody even know what Jerome Powell's voice sounds like? I don't. You know? Maybe a little bit. Sides. I think that's actually a good thing. They're beefing like Biggie and Tupac. Trump's just like, you're shitty, you suck, whatever. He's like, keep the rates
it's not Biggie and Tupac. It's like Tupac and Sade. He's not saying nothing. He's just
What's
saying,
your favorite Sade song? Cherish the day.
It would probably be...
I need this.
Go, go, go. What was that movie with Robert Redford with Demi Moore? What is that? What is that? Indecent Proposals. I would say Ordinary Love, but that's a good question.
This is definitely no Ordinary Love.
But what I'm saying to you is they have this guy's not fighting back. He's just saying this is what's the right thing to do. He's a logical guy.
Yeah. I've been very complimentary to Jerome Powell. I think we've had a soft landing. Inflation's at what, 2.5%?
Yeah.
You know, rates, he's made some cuts. I actually think he's doing a damn good job, regardless of what Trump says. What would you say about?
So let me explain this. Here's how it works. So every year for the last God knows how many years, we've had annual conventions, and we do that at MGM Grand Arena.
Sick event.
Great event. 10,000 energies, hype, phenomenal, all this stuff, right? And the moment the event ends, I start already talking to my executives about what is the new announcement we'll be making for next year, vaguely 12 months later. And all I'm collecting is good news. That's all I'm collecting. I need good news on January 1st when it's our kickoff. I need good news on February 1st when it's our award ceremony that we do on the Zoom. I need good news when we're in Dallas. Right now, Train the Trainers is in Dallas. And I need the best news when I'm in Las Vegas in front of everybody to announce what we're doing. When they get closer to May, June, July, and I don't have any big breakthroughs, I'm not a happy guy. I've been telling my guys, we need some good news. What's the news? Comp, which is like taxes. Contest trip, recognition. You know, new technology, which is speed, efficiency. But I have to get some kind of news for them. Trump right now is trying to get some good news to tell. We need some positive distraction. It's the key word. Period. Trump needs a positive distraction right now to get everybody to say, but did you see the tax cuts? But did you see the interest rates lowered? But did you see this? But did you see the new jobs report? With everything that's going on right now, he's got one thing. He needs some good, positive press. And this guy's not helping. If you get some good positive press here, what can he say as a guy that's in real estate? Did you guys notice right now the mortgage rate is 5.85%? Wow, it's 5% for the first time. News, marketing, everywhere. So there's a little bit of PR that we need right now with positive news with all the stuff that's going on.
Yeah, I mean, he still has 90% plus approval in the Republican Party, in the base. You're good there. He's good. Democrats are always going to hate Trump. They have TDS. We understand what's going on there. The independents in the last 30 days have gone from 50% approval down to like 30. So he's losing independents day by day by day by day. Now, Trump may not care because he's not running for re-election. But J.D. Vance or whoever's next in line might be like,
last player standing.
W's over here. We fully agree. He needs to put some points on the board.
Yeah, I think he's just looking for some good news. Okay. All right, let's go into this next story here with the state of Florida. So, Rob, if you have this clip, the clip specific about law enforcement positions in Florida, let me first read this, and then if you can put this up, that'd be great. So check this out. How many of you here did not live in Florida 5 years ago, but you